everyone, and welcome to Jurassic Park in Jurassic World Evolution. We're gonna take a tour of my recreation of the original movie park. I've tried to make it as movie accurate as possible, and we're gonna have a look at all of the sites. I should probably start with the entry point, the arrival point, so the helicopter comes down with the classic music. Alan is fiddling with his seatbelt because Lord knows seatbelts are complicated. And then they arrive over here. Now this park is unmodded, so you know I had to I had to make do with what I could. So we're not as close to the waterfall as I would have wanted, and the rocks are a little scattered, I suppose. But I think it still looks pretty cool. And there's some other parts of this park that I think worked out quite well. I gotta be careful not to hit any of these bushes that surround me, because those are individually placeable, and when you hit them, your Jeep dies. RIP. Okay, so here we come up on the gates. They're not manned, they're automated at this point, spared no expense. We're gonna go through. And in the movie, we see them drive along like this, like a wall of mud and vegetation, essentially, where Hammond and Gennaro are talking to each other. That's kind of what I tried to emulate here. Again, of course, without mods. This is something that's not in the movie, but I just wanted to add it. You know, I love my torches. So we have a torch, and we have signs pointing the way to the visitor center and to the East Dock. Let's go over here first, though. The East Dock, of course, is not really based on anything we see in the movie in particular, but I did have a lot of fun with building the East Dock. It was probably my favorite bit to build, actually, because everything else is a game of compromise, and you'll see. We'll talk a little bit more when we get there. And this would be the first dinosaur experience for Ellie, Alan, and Ian. They're very similar to one another. It just hit me. Anyway, so this is the paddock where they see the Brachiosaurus. It should be over there by the trees. But also in this paddock, according to the map at least, should be Parasaurolophus. Actually, we see those in the movie as well, by the way, down by the lake. And Gallimimus are walking around here as well. This just recreated as best as I could off of what we see in the movie. The challenge here is scale, because what we can build in the in-game map is a lot smaller than what we see in the movie. So this enclosure for the Brachiosaurus is... Look, I accidentally hit a bush. I lost part of my Jeep to a bush. And the bushes also left some dents, it looks like. But yeah, this paddock in the movie, it's absolutely enormous, and we can see into the distance very far. And this is just a very condensed version of that. So really all I could try to mimic was the shape of the lake and the positioning of the trees. But like the backdrop and everything like that, yeah, it's definitely a game of compromise, like I said. But we're gonna go over to the visitor center, which I'm a little bit more proud of, I will say. It also took quite a while to get everything in order, I suppose. So here we're coming up on the visitor center. Sorry. Okay, so here we are. And I don't know which thumbnail I'm gonna use, but probably this one. And this is basically the shot from the movie that I recreated for one of the thumbnails, like version 1 of the thumbnail. So you can see if we get just a little bit like that. We have the blue container right there. Obviously we don't have scaffolds, we don't have people working, but close enough, close enough. There's like a light over here. We have some palm trees. We also have like this little deck. Now, the game does not come with geese provided, but there should be a couple of geese here as well. At least that's what we see in the movie. And then, of course, we have the visitor center right here, with the tour track in front of it being concrete. If you've seen my speed build, you'll have seen me lay down this track with just the muddy track. At which point you were filled with righteous rage. I did correct that like right after, when I did like my first look at the park. I realized, that's not quite right. Let's hop into the Jeep again. Bam! So we come over here and we stop in front of the visitor center. Oh god, wow, the brakes aren't great on this thing. And then we go into there, Mr. DNA does his little show and tell. Dr. Wu is bragging about how awesome he is. He is kind of awesome. And where do we go? Where do I go from here? I mean, if we go back here, like the tour building is hidden over here. The problem is, if you remember where the entry point is, there's no path from the entry point to here, because I didn't want to have like a long dirt path all the way over here. So none of this is operational, but I suppose that's sort of movie accurate, you know. Nothing was working, not as it should at least. So if we go over here, you know what? We should hop out. We should hop out of the Jeep. We're gonna do this first person mode. Bam! So I added these signs, even though I don't think we see these in the movie. And then we go over here. Let's sprint. And we have the Raptor paddock that's hidden back here. And I added the crane and the cage as well that we see in the cold open of the movie. It's, of course, not exactly the right crane and whatnot. And there's supposed to be a sharp drop-off over here. Again, we're working with a limited game, people. So just embrace what we have and ignore the rest. Reject! Reject all the inaccuracies. So we have a Raptor paddock over here, and our first encounter here is spooky, but still, you know, positive, still safe. Of course, the second time around, not so much. We would have a break right there in the fencing. And then Muldoon and Ellie, they come over here, and they see the footprints of the escaped raptors. And they come over here, and they see the bunker in the distance, but they're being hunted. The raptors are around them. So Muldoon tells Ellie to just go, run, and she... Oh, I was crouching, sorry. And she runs, and she jumps over a log that's not here. And she bursts through the door, and then she goes into the bunker, where, of course, it is not as safe as one would hope, as particularly one Arnold would hope. And yeah, that's basically that part. So we come back out here. You know, Muldoon is being murdered and eaten over here somewhere. Can you hear his screams? Here we are back at the Raptor paddock. Wave goodbye, and we're gonna move on. You know, the only downside, I think, of Jurassic World Evolution 2 versus Jurassic World Evolution 1 is that there are no people in the watchtower. I think I would have preferred it if there were people in there, but of course it's a decoration, so the people probably wouldn't even be animated. I'm not sure, actually. So we're gonna go back. The Jeep was kept waiting for us. You'll see why. If you didn't know this trick yet, I will show you how this trick works to have the Jeep just be here and ready for you. Let me change the camera angle. Oh god, what did I just do? Don't shoot things. Here, switch camera. There you go. And we're gonna go back, and we're gonna go through, we're gonna follow the tour track, but I'm not gonna take the tour vehicle, like I said, because I can't. It's not connected, so it doesn't work. So here we go through here. I added some more foliage. And then the doors open, and we have a Parasaurolophus. Great. Oh, the doors do not open. The doors don't open. Well, that's a problem, isn't it? That's also something they did better in the first game. I really feel like, I don't know, they should have, they didn't make notes. They should have made notes. Oh, we'll take a roundabout way. This is very unprofessional. Okay, back it up, back it up, back it up. Oh god, oh god. Yeah, that's great. If the physics were realistic, that guy in the back should have come rolling out of the Jeep. That would have been funny, actually. So we're gonna take a roundabout way so I can get through the gates. Actually, I just realized this is gonna be a problem throughout. Because, oh god. There are some more gates coming up. Okay, so pretend that we just came out of this gate. None of this is here. This is not part of the experience, but we have to... Oh, okay, this thing does not corner. Yeah, we have another gate coming up. Fantastic. I'm gonna delete that. I have no other choice. This game, man. This game! It's so good, but yet there's, like, greatness just beyond our reach. So what we have over here, and... Wait, where's my sign? I thought I added the sign. Well, anyway. Oh my god. This is the Dilophosaurus paddock on our right. Yes, I can tell left from right. Good. What are you doing? He has his flare gun out. There you go. Sit Joe ass down. That was... What is he doing? What is it? I'm so sorry. Oh god. Okay, we're just gonna move on. Somewhere over here. Is that one? Yeah, that is indeed one. Napping in the grass over there. Just barely see it right there. So this is the Dilophosaurus paddock. You can hear more of them. There's a couple in there. But of course, this is also movie accurate, that we're not actually seeing them. And it's like, well, whatever. Let's just move on. And I have to delete another gate, it looks like. Hold on to your butts. I'm destroying this entire park for the purpose of this tour. So we go through over here, and this is the sick Triceratops experience. Of course, the Triceratops isn't actually sick, so it's not here. I don't know. I don't know where it is at this point. And also in here, because it was on the map, are not compies, Segisaurus. Segisaurus is over here somewhere, just like the trike. I think. Hello? Now the problem that I want to address, and it harkens back to the problem of scale, is that in the movie, you know, the vehicles, they follow the tour track, right? But they don't actually go through exhibits the way we go through exhibits. The tour vehicles go by exhibits. So, oh god, there's another gate here. So, hold on, let me just show you from an aerial point of view. So, like, this would be the Tyrannosaurus enclosure, right? And the tour is outside of the enclosure, but there's also supposed to be a Segisaurus enclosure over here somewhere. But because everything is so small, I decided to make the perimeter fences... Oh, there they are. Where's the trike? Anyway. So instead of... Like, this is just perimeter fence, right? And there should be an enclosure inside here. So, for example, let me just... For the purpose of an example, right? Here, so technically it should be like that. There should be an enclosure inside the perimeter fencing that the tour doesn't go through for safety, obviously. But because even our perimeter sections are already as small as they are, I decided not to do that. So the perimeter sections that we saw in the movie, those are actually also already the enclosures. With the sole exception being the Dilophosaurus paddock and the T-Rex paddock. And for the T-Rex paddock, to do that actually, I took the tour outside of the perimeter fencing. So if you look at my map view and the map view that we have as a reference, the way the tour is actually laid out is not accurate. And of course we're also dealing with the problem that in the game the tours can't just go back along the track, which is exactly what they do in the movie. In the movie they approach the Tyrannosaurus paddock from oh. Hello, Rexy, making an appearance. Very nice. Don't shoot her. Look at him standing there menacingly. Dude, relax, dude. Anyway, first, when they first arrive at the Tyrannosaurus, they arrive from this direction, right? So they come through here, and this is how they see the paddock. But the second time around, they've actually... Oh, well, sorry. They turned around, and for the climactic scene, the tour vehicles face in that direction. That's also something we just can't do in the game. Stop it! He's seriously aiming for the dinosaur. That is interesting. You do realize it's a flare gun, my dude. It's a flare gun. Anyway, let's move on. At least we saw the T-Rex. And it's not trying to eat us. That's nice. So we're gonna move on. And I'm probably gonna be faced with another gate. Fantastic. Let me just preemptively... Stuff is gonna escape all over the place. That's troublesome. But very movie accurate. So we're just cutting through this corner over here, and then we come into the Bionics enclosure. And of course, we are driving through the actual enclosure. That's not how it would have been in the movie. In the movie, there would have been a separate enclosure inside of this. But it's already so small that I didn't feel like that was comfortable. So that's one of the compromises that I made. Oh, we have another gate coming up. Jesus. The next dinosaur is, I think, Metri. Metri and Procerado might be in one enclosure. Yeah, Metri and Procerado are in one enclosure. The Raptors are in the Sickle Claw enclosure. Of course, in the movie they were in the Raptor paddock, but now they're in here in their actual enclosure. And here we go. We have beautiful Metricanthosaurus. This, of course, didn't even make a movie appearance. Same with Procerado, same with Sigisaurus. And this is just, this is actually a pretty big exhibit. I probably could have divided this into multiple smaller internal exhibits. But you know, I'm very proud of how I managed to do this fence layout. So I didn't wanna muddle that up. Just being honest. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go down to the East Docks. And hopefully be more successful than Nidri. So we're gonna go through here, and then we're by the torch again. And we turn, there you go. And we go down to the East Docks. Now I didn't really have the space here to properly do Dennis Nedry's crash site. I did put the sign somewhere down here. Let me see where it is. Oh, right, so there's like a T-junction over here that, oh god, oh my god, I'm slipping. Oh wow. Anyway, there's like a T-junction over here, and he would drive over this sign right here. He would drive over it, and then he would end up in the bushes over there. But yeah, none of that really worked with the layout of the park as it is in the game. Now we're coming up on the East Dock, and like I said, I really enjoyed building this, and that's because it's not a replica of anything. I know that people love doing replications in this game, and they love seeing replications in this game. I personally find it super frustrating. Like, once in a blue moon, like maybe 2 or 3 times during this build, I was like, oh yeah, that's spot on. That makes me happy to see that resemblance between what I built and the movie. But overall, there are just so many compromises that you have to make because there are so many limitations in the game. You don't have enough space, you don't have the right tools. It's just super frustrating to me. So I much prefer building something original, and you can just work with the limitations of the game without beating yourself over the head like, that's not right, it's all wrong, it's not right. What's happening right now? Why is my frame rate at like 51? What is happening? Very strange. Anyway, here's an overview of the East Dock. Seriously, what is happening? Oh, my game is like struggling. It is a struggle bus over here. Let me, here, I'll give you a nice overview shot. So that is the East Dock. A lot of detail in here. This is where the ship would dock. Nedry is not gonna make that ship. He's gonna die horribly somewhere, and he deserves it. And in case you didn't already know, you can stop your jeeps from coming back to the station by simply putting a fence around the ranger station and then deleting that fence once the rangers are out. So I'm gonna take control, although we are never truly in control. We're gonna fly off this hill, and we'll give it a little bit of distance. Here, so there he is. Give him a second. Give him a second. There, you can see he's turning back. He wants to go back home, you know? The mothership is calling him back, so to speak. And he's coming, he's coming, he's coming. We're gonna delete the gate, and there you go. He just stops, can't reach destination. So this way, you can just park your jeeps wherever you want them as like a decorative thing, and they'll just stay there. just in case you didn't know that. And that concludes the tour of my version, my recreation of Jurassic Park. If you enjoyed it, give the video a like, and if you want to see more original builds, then subscribe for more. Thank you so much for watching, liking, subscribing, and until next time, enjoy the game.